Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of The Way I See It Delmarva edition. Yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let me talk to you. Tonight, we're going to talk a lot. Tonight, we have to talk about here on The Way I See It Delmarva edition, and that's Delaware, Maryland, the beach areas down here. We are live in Studio 10 here in Berlin, Maryland. And a couple things that I want to talk about tonight that we're going to have a very special show tonight. Top 10 most dangerous cities to live in Maryland and Delaware. We'll start off with Maryland and then we'll work our way to Delaware, okay? And you're not going to believe some of these cities, and I'm actually quite surprised at a couple of them. A few of them don't surprise me. And you'll see who the number one city is, and you probably won't be surprised, for Maryland at least. I have to look at Delaware's a little bit. All right? So all you focus groups out there, all you, groups out there that are angry with me about what's going on in Ocean City, Maryland, about the stuff I said about restaurants and up for the tourists and stuff like that. That stuff's still going on. I've been told to get out of town. I will not be going anywhere. I want to let you know that. And I could care less about what you folks say because I'm going to say what I'm going to say, whether you like it or not. And the sad part about all this is you can't handle the truth. That's exactly what it is. And the truth be told, that the hotels overinflate their prices. Truth be told, that that people come to Ocean City, and this is a fact because I looked it up. The majority of the people that come to Ocean City, they come for the day. They walk up and down the boardwalk. They bring their own coolers. They bring their own water. They bring their own sandwiches. They bring their own whatever, and buy absolutely nothing to contribute to the economy of Ocean City because Ocean City made it that way. All right. And the bottom line is they made it that way. Okay. Last night I was watching, and I do watch Coast TV News. I watch BOC News. I keep myself informed. And a lot of you out there that have made your comments on my emails or on YouTube are upset with me because you say I'm listening to what Coast TV has to say. Well, you know what? If Coast TV is a prominent news outlet, why would they lie? All right. They were talking last night about Millsboro, about how everyone's crying the blues in Millsboro because they don't want no housing development because of traffic. One woman said she moved there purposely for peace and quiet. She may have to move out. Okay. You have all this vacant farmland that is not being used and cannot be used on the tax roll. And I don't know if anyone understands what the tax rules are all about. Okay. And I know there's a lot of elderly people that live in Delaware that really want to, be at peace and quiet. Where I'm at, I'm peace and quiet. I don't have any problems. Okay. All right. I have no problems. I had one problem last summer, and that was it. And some drunken kids ran around in our plan at 3:00 in the morning. They were renting a house here or doing something here, and they were running around in the plan and decided to go to the pool and go skinny dipping at 3:00 in the morning. But they ran through people's property, including mine, disrupted my dog gate on my decks, running around, scampering everywhere. They didn't destroy anything. They tried to break in to my house. I have the proof of they tried to get in my one sliding door. So I got an alarm system now. And I got, a bunch of stuff going on, but it's still not as bad as what it was up in Pittsburgh. All right. So, I'm in the same boat as some of these people. I like the peace and quiet. Where I live, there's a lot of homes here, but everybody gets along. All right. And I get some of the complaints from Delaware, and I get what's going on. The infrastructure there, I've only been in Delaware one time since I've been down here. Okay. And I'm planning on visiting some other cities just to get the lay of the land and see what's happening. But Millsboro, from what I understand, they don't want no development either. There's a lot of folks in Delaware complaining about that new highway that was built, how trucks are not using it. They're still going through these towns, which, some people say they want to go eat at the cafe and don't want to listen to tractor trailers coming through. But let me ask you a question. That tractor trailer driver that's coming through your town, how do you know he's not going to pick up the phone and say, hey, there's a nice little store there. How about you go, you can go shopping there. You pick up business. As long as people are visibly seeing your business, it'll pick up. Okay? We had this problem up in Pittsburgh. I think I explained that to you already, in a community called Bridgeville. They got angry because there's a portion of the 79 bridge southbound going into Washington, PA, that goes across Bridgeville that the state wanted to toll because the state needed the Turnpike Commission was broke at the time. So they wanted to toll that. They were going to fix it and toll it. Everybody got mad. Well, there's going to be traffic coming through Bridgeville. Well, wait a minute here. First of all, you're complaining because you're not making any money. But with that traffic coming through, you know what, man? It's kind of hot out here. Maybe I could stop and get a drink at that little restaurant there. Or maybe I could stop at the convenience store. Maybe I could stop here or stop there. Oh, a comic book place. I didn't know that was there. You see what I'm getting at? You don't know what people are thinking or what they're seeing. And when they see your business, you might pick up the phone. You just never know. You never know what someone's going to see. You never know what someone's going to pick up on. They might like to knit, and there might be a yarn place there. There might be a crafts place. There might be a place that sells kites. There might be, you just don't know. All right. And when you get on the news with your attitude that you don't want to see anybody, that to me is backwards thinking. It really is. All right. Because if I got my property tax raised because there wasn't enough development to pay for it, I'd be angry too. Okay. But you're getting angry about property taxes, but you're not accepting the development to pay for that. Okay. All right. And that's exactly what's going on here right now in Delaware. Certain communities are what they are. And that's exactly it. All right. That's the way I see it tonight there. But let's go into this little detail here. There's a guy that's on the radio in town around this area. I'm not going to mention his name. He's on in the morning from 6 to 10. He talks. He's well known down here, supposedly. Okay. I'm well known down here, too. Thing is, though, he makes more money than I do. Thing is, he's been on the air I don't know how long. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm content with what I'm doing right now because I have to be. Okay? But the situation is that this guy has Rick Meehan on every single morning on his program. So I didn't call in because I wasn't sure if he was actually taking calls to address the mayor. So I text. And I brought up about how the mayor should sit down with these hotel owners and managers and go over the way the prices are at these hotels. It's chasing away business. Okay? And this guy, whoever texted me back, I don't know if it was the producer or if it was the man himself, said, well, what can the mayor do? And, I'm thinking, wait a minute, common sense here. But of course, I have to say this common sense went out the window a long time ago. All right. How difficult is it to pick up a telephone, call the hospitality group or call the manager, general manager, get them on the phone, send them an email, even go and visit. Say, hey, my name is Mayor Rick Meehan. I'm the mayor of Ocean City. How about you and I have a talk? We sit down, have a conversation. Let's have lunch. And you say, hey, look, how about I hear you're charging absorbent rates for hotels. Can you please try to help me a little bit here? Bring more people in, okay? Or get the whole group together at the convention center or something to that effect. All right? And I always say this. You never know what you can get out of this. Nobody wants to sit down and say, okay, and I've had this discussion, and I've brought this topic up on my radio talk shows a few times. It's not sitting face to face and talk to one another. It's always want to fight each other. It's always want to argue with each other. It's always want to kill each other. It's always want to stab each other, shoot each other, whatever. If I'm the mayor, I would fix this, because you're getting people who are actually going on national news and going on national news outlets and even local news outlets saying, I go to Myrtle Beach. I go on cruises. I go to Florida. I go everywhere else but Ocean City, Maryland, because it's too expensive. Okay? I go to Atlantic City. All right? So, Rick Meehan, being that he's on that show, to me is a target, because I will be calling in if I can, and you can hear me on there, calling in to say to this to Mayor Meehan, hey, look, why don't you go sit down with these people and discuss something here and work something out here? Okay? And you know what else you can do? If you live in Ocean City, or you live in Berlin, or you live in Worcester County, which is the county that is Ocean City, you get a 10% discount on souvenirs on the boardwalk. That will bring people locally to you. All you have to do is sit down with the boardwalk. They have a boardwalk group commission or whatever. Now, I just came up with 2 suggestions, 3 here, of how we can fix this easily. Okay? And I don't know if I really live in Ocean City, but my mailing address is Berlin. But I'm going to find out. And if so, I may run for mayor, because these 3 suggestions right here are just enough to fix it. And I know what all you business groups out there and all you people that forums and all that, well, you're sticking up for the tourists. No, I'm not. I'm sticking up for everybody. Everybody wins here. You understand? It's about business. You know, I tell you all the time, and I say this, watch Bar Rescue. Educate yourself. John Taffer is strictly business. Buy his books. Check them out. It's about business. It's about bringing in business. Okay? It's not about sticking it to somebody. It's not about digging in somebody's pocket. All right? That kind of thing. Watch Hotel Impossible. Go into season 4. Scroll down to where it says the Langford. The Langford Hotel was on the Hotel Impossible. And watch when Anthony Molcori, this was 10 years ago, but still, Anthony Molcori, who hosts the show, one of the best hotel experts in the world, okay, went to try to help the Langford. And he goes around and he interviews all the businesses about what they're charging for leases and what they're getting for leases and all this other stuff. Okay? All right? There has to be a better way so that you can bring more business without doing any harm. And I know you can't please everybody. That's the bottom line right there. I've come to know that for many years. And I didn't just come off the baloney truck. All right? But there has to be some way that we can do this without. I told you the story about what happened to me at a hotel on the boardwalk. My wife and I, we got married. We were going to come down here for our honeymoon. I called in February so I could book the room, get the right price, and be done with it. They sent me a bill for double, almost triple what the guy quoted me on the phone, and I had already paid for it. And now he was trying to charge me triple, and I said, oh, no, you're not doing this. I'm not going down there for that kind of money. I can go on 10 cruises for what you're charging me. And he gave me all kinds of lip. And instead of working with me and saying, okay, look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. You can have it for that kind of price. He gave me a hard time. He acted like it was an inconvenience. Okay? Is this the attitude that we have to have in Ocean City, Maryland? Is this the way it's going to be here? Because it's too nice of a place to be like this. I know it's about money. I know it's about tourism. I know it's about businesses that have to close because they don't make no money in the off season. I get all that. I know all that. Okay? But does that have to be like that? Can't we sit down and negotiate and say, hey, look, can we do this way? Or let's say, for instance, I just might want to get away for a weekend from my house and might want to go stay at a hotel on the boardwalk and just relax for a weekend down there. I live in the city. How about, or I live in Worcester County. How about I get a discount? Okay. Or how about if a hotel doesn't have free breakfast, that you sit down with them and say, hey, look, how about giving out a coupon that if they're a guest at the hotel, they get 50% off at the restaurant in the building. I stayed at a hotel whose name I'm not going to mention because, again, they don't pay me. Okay. So, you see, these types of ideas is what keeps customers coming back. The way it's going right now, Rick Meehan is chasing people out of here. Good people, people that really, you know what I mean? All right. Not everybody can afford $40 for a T-shirt. Not everybody can afford, $20 for a hot dog. Nobody can afford. There are some people that can't, but you don't alienate those people because there's not enough people out there that can spend all that kind of money. And if you think there is with this economy today, you're full of it. I was at the Bonfire Restaurant, one of my favorite places. I'll advertise them because they're good people. All right. I was talking to a woman because we were waiting for the restaurant to open up. I had reservations. It was Thanksgiving. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. And she was there with some group. They're there to visit family. And she said, I would stay a little longer. They were at a hotel. They were there for something for the weekend, I believe it was. But it was during the Thanksgiving week. I can't remember what it was. Oh, no, wait a minute. This was another time. Yeah. It was in September. Or no, it was in October. In fact, it was my birthday. And we went there. Okay, so here we are. We go there for my birthday. And this lady was there. And she said, I would stay a few more days if I could afford it. And she had a child. So by charging the excessive rates that you charge, you lost that woman for a couple more days, which means she would have spent around. She would have went to the souvenir shops on the street. Probably would have went to a restaurant or even a McDonald's or whatever's there, whatever, however. Okay? Do you see what I'm getting at? You lost that woman for 2 more days because you want to be greedy. Okay? You want people to come, but then you don't want to be, you don't want everybody to come. You only want certain people to come. And you can't operate like that. And you're going to continue to lose it if you continue to do it that way. All right? I know this. I have friends who come down here and they bring their own food and then they go home. They don't spend money because they can't afford it. But they enjoy coming down to see the ocean, the drive, and whatnot. Just to get away for a day. They leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning, they get here, what? From Pittsburgh, it's about 6 hours, 11 o'clock. They might take a little nap for about an hour or something, get out of the car, go to the boardwalk, walk around by the ocean, couple, 3, 4 hours, and then leave and go back. Don't spend any money on the boardwalk because you can't afford it. $20 for a hot dog or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying now? I get it. It's a vacation spot. It's a tourist place. I get that. But you can have more if you charge less somewhere. Instead of gouging people for parking, instead of gouging people for everything in this town, in Ocean City. Beautiful place, beautiful city, beautiful town, beautiful boardwalk. but not beautiful way of doing things. It's not right in my eyes and in the eyes of a consumer. And I'm looking out for not only the consumer, I'm looking out for the business. I get you got to make money, but I don't want to hear businesses complain because they didn't make any money. When there was a concert, oh, I really didn't make any money. When that concert was here, nobody bought anything because nobody could afford it. You see what I'm getting at? You know there's going to be 10 million people coming for some rock festival. Why don't you knock your prices down and get rid of your inventory? Okay? Or is that too much work for the next bunch of inventory? That's backwards thinking. Okay? That's Ralph's opinion, or that's, excuse me, the way I see it on that tonight. All right, let's get into our top 10s I promised you today. Let's get into that. We're here till 8:30. And then at 9 o'clock tonight, I will be on Steel City Sports World at 9 o'clock with Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier, and Claudia Rosano, Big Rome, and Fillmore. And we'll be talking some Steelers stuff tonight, free agency. Lots to talk about in sports and free agency in the NFL. We'll be talking about that coming up later on. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Number 10. Now, here's number 10, Ocean City. All right, and it says here, now this here is a top 10 from the Maryland Uniform Crime Report. This is their top 10 now. So you can't say it was my top 10. No. This is I'm reading this from the Maryland Uniform Crime Report, local police department statistics. Ocean City, number 10. While known as a vacation destination, Ocean City's PCR 52 per crime rate, per cap of 52.1. It says spikes during the summer months due to tourist-targeted crimes. The boardwalk area accounts for 60% of all theft reports. Police note a troubling trend of rental property burglaries. There you go. Well, that's because people stay in, idiots. They got to stay in short-term rentals, and they destroy them, and they steal things. Okay? That's why you don't have short-term rentals. That's why Ocean City's attacking them because of you who destroy people's property. You have no respect for it. All right. With thefts targeting unattended beach houses. There you go. There's another thing. The department has implemented a seasonal officer surge program to address the issue. All right. Next, Laurel, Maryland, number 9. Laurel. VCR 5.9, PCR 30.8, stem from its location along major transportation routes. It says the city's budget motels generate disappropriate numbers of police calls. All right. For drug and prostitution offenses. All right. So that's Laurel. Retail theft at the Laurel Mall increased 18% last year, which is 2025. Police have partnered with loss prevention officers to identify repeat offenders. Ooh, you mean there's still loss prevention officers? Wow. You go to some Walmarts these days, there's no loss prevention officers anymore. There's nobody there to bust anybody because it's all AI or computer generated. Wow. There's really loss prevention? Oh, boy. I used to do that kind of work. Number 8, Frederick. I'm really surprised at Frederick because I knew the police chief there, Jason Lando. Well, Jason's not there anymore. He took a job being the police chief up in Pittsburgh. Yeah. All right. He was originally from Pittsburgh. He was a commander, an assistant chief, a detective. And I was under the impression that Frederick was getting cleaned up. I've been to Frederick. I've been to the state fairgrounds. Nice place, but I haven't been anywhere else in the area, so I don't know. All right, it says Frederick reports a VCR of 6.1 and a PCR of crime 31.5, with a crime concentrated in its public housing developments. Okay, well, I did not see those. All right, I didn't go that far into town. All right. The Willowdale neighborhood sees a 3% more violent crime than the city's averages. A recent surge of catalytic converter thefts. So that's up and rising. You know about that. People are stealing them, taking them to the junkyard, It says the recent surge of catalytic converter thefts have prompted police to host free edging events. Downtown parking garages remain hotspots for vehicle break-ins. Well, that's a shame about that. That really is. Sorry to hear that. I didn't know that was going on in Frederick. Okay, that's number 8. Number 7, Hyattsville. VCR of 6.3, PCR per crime rate of 33 or 32.7. It says Hyattsville's nice challenges from the proximity to Washington, D.C. Robberies along Route 1 account for 35% of violent crimes. Then it says gentrification has credited stark safety disparities between neighborhoods. The police department has, it says here, implemented community walking patrols to build trust in high crime areas. There you go. I used to belong to a community crime group where we used to drive around in our cars and had walkie-talkies and used to report whatever crimes we saw. It was effective, but that's Hyattsville. All right. This is actually a little bit of a surprise. I've only been to the 50 part of Cambridge. I've never been anywhere else in Cambridge, but here we are. Cambridge is number 6. Yeah, number 6. All right. Cambridge VCR 16.5 PCR that's prime per crime 33.9. It says reflect its struggles with poverty, drugs, and drug-related crimes. The Race Street corridor accounts for 40% of the city's violent offenses. Recent police initiatives have reduced open-air drug markets. That's good to know, because there's some cities they ain't doing anything about it because they got too many progressives. By 25%, the property crimes remain elevated. The city has invested in streetlight upgrades to improve nighttime safety. Well, it's good to hear on that one. Number 5, Annapolis. All right, I've seen some other top 10s. Annapolis was higher, but we'll take. I guess they'll take it. Maryland's capital has a VCR of 6.8 and a PCR of 34.5. Public housing complexes experience occurring burglary patterns, especially during tourist off season. All right. So, all right, let me see here. Tourist off seasons. Okay, here we go. And then it says here, waterfront thefts, boats, marine equipment. Okay. A spike during the summer. The harbor master now uses CPS tracking in terms of to catch thieves. So there you go. That's Annapolis. Number 5. Number 4, Hagerstown. I've heard some stories about Hagerstown. It says here, Hagerstown. Let me look at something here real quick. Find my what I need to look for here. I think it's right here. Let me see. Hold on a second. I'm looking for something that I need and I can't find it. Here we go. I found it. Okay, here we are. All right. Okay, Hagerstown. It says VCR 7.2. It says PCR 36.8. Stem from I-81's drug corridor. There you go. All right. So with that, it also, hang on, I want to do something here real quick. Cut this. Oh, okay, we're good. All right. It says drug corridor and motel districts account for 45% of all police calls, often tied to meth trafficking. All right. Number 3, Salisbury. Well, I live near Salisbury, about a half hour away. Salisbury reports a VCR of 7.9, PCR of 39.1, driven by downtown bar fights, student targeted thefts, because they have a university in downtown, and that always happens. Okay. You also off-campus robberies peak during university event weekends. There you go. Anytime there's a university in any kind of town, you're likely to have this problem. All right. So, all right, the police department has a new camera network, which reduced smartphone thefts And it says by 31% in 2023. However, car break-ins remain stubbornly high near shopping centers. Well, that goes on all the time. All right. Number 3, Cumberland, Maryland. Cumberland is a VCR of 8.7, PCR 42.3, reflecting its opioid crisis. 65% of arrests tied to drug activity. The Queen City Parkway corridor is a known fentanyl distribution hub. Well, fix it. Go after them. Set up stings. Vacant property thefts, copper wiring, appliances rose 22% last year. A new task force demolishes blighted buildings to reduce hiding spots for criminal activity. All right, so we're right now involved in a top 10 of the most dangerous places to live in Maryland. We're going to do Delaware next. All right, and we're at number 3, Cumberland. Number 2, I'm sorry, Cumberland was number 2. Salisbury was number 3. I think I missed one. No, I didn't miss one. I got them all. All right. Okay, number 1. You ready? Here's number 1. You're not going to be surprised, but we'll see. You know. Here's number 1. All right, Baltimore, which doesn't surprise me because my late father lived in Baltimore. Told me not to come there because of the crime. All right. Okay, it says Baltimore VCR 12.4, PCR 5802, the highest crime around. All right, it says dwarf state. It says dwarf state averages with 14 plus violent crimes daily. The Sandtown, Winchester area sees homicide rates fixed to the national averages. Crime trends show armed robberies shifting from convenience stores to delivery drivers. Police will report improved gang-related arrest rates, but still struggle with witness intimidation. Now, that goes on a lot in a major city. Baltimore, I was told, is one of the worst. I actually thought D.C. would be on this list, but ever since President Trump sent in the National Guard, Washington, D.C. really hasn't had much of a problem. All right, we're going to go into Delaware's next coming up. That's going to be next. And, so we'll be going into that as well. So I just want to let everyone know that. And we're going to continue on here with the way I see it. Delmarva edition. Earlier, we talked about Delaware and some of what's been going on lately there with some of the complaining about development. Some of the older people there want to have peace and quiet. They don't want, development there at all. One lady said she was going to move out because she moved there for peace and quiet, not for development and noise and all that other stuff. I moved here for peace and quiet, and I love it. Okay. I do get peace and quiet. I don't live real close to the shopping area, but I live close enough that I don't have to go far to get what I need. And that's exactly what it is. But I'm not sitting here complaining about anything except for a few things that are not right. But when I say something, it's the truth. I don't say something just to complain, just to say something to make myself talk. No, I don't do that. Okay? I tell the truth. I tell it the way I look at it. I tell it the way I see it. And when I'm out there and people act like goofs, that's when I get angry and when I start saying things. Okay? That's when stuff like this happens, and that's when I have to get angry. All right. All right. We got about 25 minutes left in the program. We're going to go into the top 10 most dangerous cities in Delaware. Tonight, we're having a special top 10. All right. So let's see what we got. All righty. Let's go into Delaware here. All right. Okay, let's get started here. All right, I can't believe what number 1 is. I find that very hard to believe from what I've been told. Now, again, it's been a while since I've been to. I have not even been to. I mean, I've been to a couple small places in Delaware, Bethany Beach. I was there at some store there. Fenway Island, just kind of went through there a little bit. Haven't been to Rehoboth yet. I'll get there. All right. All right. Number 10, Claymont. All right. Claymont is only in your state, includes this area among those with high crime rates, particularly after dark. All right. Key factors of these ratings: crime rates, economic struggles, and quality of life. All right. All right. So let's get started here with this one. We already did Claymore. Georgetown, number 9. Also cited as having higher crime risks compared to a safer Delaware cities. Okay. I've known Georgetown to be on the news for different types of crime, police chases, that kind of thing. All right. All you got to do is just, look at your local crime blotter and you'll see that. All right. Now, number 8, Bridgeville, only in your state. These are the people who are sponsoring this top 10. It's called Only in Your State. All right. So let's get going here. All right. Bridgeville. It says Bridgeville notes high crime rates in this area. All right. So there you are. High crime rates in this area. Newcastle, Delaware. There's a Newcastle, Pennsylvania, too. But Newcastle, Delaware. This is all based on, again, and I'm going to tell you key factors: crime rates, economic struggles, quality of life. All right. Quality of life is places that have underperforming schools, limited recreational facilities, and issues in areas, like Wilmington. And we'll get into Wilmington. I'm not going to tell you where they are, but you'll find out. All right, Newcastle. It says features an average high crime rates with dangerous. Hang on a minute here. All right, with dangerous areas located on the outskirts of town. So there you go. Usually, the outskirts is where the least amount of crime is, but I guess there's some that have that. Laurel is at number 6. Identified as the poorest town in Delaware based on the U.S. Census data. So the poorest people live in Laurel. All right. So that's according to this here. All right. And Laurel's number 6. Number 5, Milford. Features high rates of both violent and property crime, with 1 in 100 chance of being a victim of a violent crime. And this is in Milford. And Milford is number 5. Okay. All right. Milford is at number 5. Okay. Number 4. And here we are here at number 4. All right. Is Seaford, known for high property crime, 1 in 14 chance, high violent crime rates, ranking as one of the most dangerous in Sussex County. All right. So anyone from Seaford can deny that? All right. Ralph Williams 737 at gmail.com is my mailbag. If you want to respond to any of this, I'll get into the emails after I'm done with this final top 10 of the night. Maryland and Delaware are the worst places to live. We'll do a top 10 next week of the best places to shop or something like that. All right. It's a lot of fun, don't you think? All right. All right. I'll be getting to the comments too as soon as I'm done here. Dewey Beach, number 3, considered a highly dangerous area with violent crime rate of 13 times the state average, largely due to a massive fluctuation of summer population. It's another ocean city where they have a big summer population and a lot of crime, in some cases. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. All right. All right. We got real quick here before we finish up. Let's get into our comment sections here. Sandra says, Sandra says hi. Hello, Sandra. How are you? All right. Sandra again here says, my sound does not work, so I can't hear you. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Everyone else don't seem to have a problem. I haven't heard anything else. All right. So there you are. Okay. All right. Okay, here we are. Next, Smyrna. Smyrna's number 2. Ranked by some studies as the least livable city in the state due to a poor infrastructure management and a lack of amenities. Wow. Yeah, that'll make for one dangerous community when there's lack of jobs, lack of recreational facilities, lack of schools, lack of everything as far as that goes. Number one. You ready for number one? All right, here we are. I knew you were ready. Wilmington. Believe it or not, is number one. Wilmington. Okay, here's Wilmington now. Frequently cited for high violent crime rates, nearly quadruple the national average, high unemployment at 7.8%, and a poor school performance. Well, that'll chase people out in an instant right there. All right, let's get into see what else we got here. All right, well, all right, there we are. Okay, thank you for participating in the comments section. That was our top 10s of Maryland and Delaware tonight. Most dangerous places to live. We'll be doing this every single show. I'm going to try to at least. So, but we'll see what's going on as far as we know. All right. So, all right, let's get into our emails here. As you know, Ralph Williams 737 at gmail.com is the email address. If you want to weigh in on anything you want to talk about here, here's Bob from Milford. He said, Ralph, he says, you're out of control. He says, I don't know where you get your information. We're only trying to preserve what's good here. You seem to think that we're all a bunch of whiners, and that ain't the case. Well, Bob, let me explain something to you. What I don't like is when you get on the news or you get on the radio and you complain because you have to pay more in property taxes, but you turn down retail development, which will pay taxes. Retail people moving in. And I get it. You don't want, you don't want a whole bunch of derelicts living in your town. Nobody does. All right. Nobody wants derelicts, dummies, and idiots and whatnot living in your town. Nobody does. I get that. But no matter where you live anymore in this country, they're around. Stupid never takes a vacation. So no matter where you live, it's all the same. And I don't want to hear someone tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not. That's Bob from Milford, Delaware. Thank you, Bob, for your comments on the email here. Here's Mike from Ocean City, Maryland. Ralph, you always pick on Mayor Meehan, calling him names and whatnot. Mayor Meehan makes a lot of money for Ocean City, regardless of what he does. If these people can't pay, they shouldn't come. Okay. Why is that? Why is that? What, you would rather them go to Myrtle Beach? You would rather them go on a cruise? You'd rather them go to Florida? You'd rather them go to Atlantic City? You'd rather them go to Vegas for less money than they come to Ocean City, Maryland? And that includes the flight to Vegas. I did the math. Okay? It is disgusting. And I know you can't please everybody, Greg. You can't please everybody, but let me say this. Or Mike, I'm sorry, Mike. All right? Let me say this. You can't please everybody. But if you can get more people to stay and spend, more people, that's more. That's more in your pocket. All right? Then maybe you won't be on the news going on and on about how you lost money because nobody came into your store because you're too expensive. All right? When 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever, however thousands of people show up for these events like the Country Calling and all these other stuff, and they don't spend money, something should be telling you something. You catch what I'm saying? All right? Something should be saying something to you. There should be that little light bulb that goes off in your head that says, oh, well, there's a problem here. All right. Okay? It's amazing how I'm getting these emails. Go home. Here's another one here. This is from Greg. Go home. Go back to Pittsburgh. Really? I'm here telling the truth. And Greg, you want me to go back to Pittsburgh? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't go back to Pittsburgh if they bought me a house, because they'll never, ever be right with the progressives running things. And they still have progressives up there running things, even though the mayor's not progressive. They do absolutely nothing about nothing up there. When stuff needs to be handled, they're afraid to handle it. We got to treat this delicately. No, you don't. It's called fired. Gone. See you later. Who cares about what somebody says? Who cares about what group comes knocking on your door? Fired. You didn't do your job. Fired. I don't care what color you are. Fired. Okay? I get picked on all the time on my radio talk shows, especially the ones I have up in Pittsburgh, about how I pick on this former black mayor of Pittsburgh named Ed Gainey. Ed Gainey used to be a friend of mine. Ed Gainey was mayor of Pittsburgh. I voted for Ed Gainey. But when you don't do your job, I will call you to the carpet. And I feel that right now Rick Meehan is not doing the proper job to bring everybody here to Ocean City, Maryland, and away from Myrtle Beach, and away from the cruises, and away from Florida, and away from Las Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? When you gouge people, you stick your hand in their pocket, and you want more, and you keep sticking it to them. And the governor here, Wes Moore, how about voting him out? No, he's a progressive. He'll give the ship away. He'll give everything away. Then there's no money to fix that bridge that collapsed. Okay? There's no money to fix roads. There's no money for nothing because you know why? There you are. Really great guy, Mo guy. Yeah, you know what? I will not deny he's not a great guy. I will not deny that. But I will deny the fact that I just think that he could do a little bit more to bring more people in. But the way my plan brings more people in. His plan alienates people, all right, where the people that you're alienating will spend money, and then now that's more people. You understand what I'm getting at? I hope so. Thanks for your comment anyway. All right, a couple more emails here, and we're going to wrap it up a little early tonight. I'm going to be on with Steel City Sports World, and I have some announcements to make too. So, all right, I got two more here. It says, this is anonymous. Ralph, you're an idiot. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for calling me an idiot. I really appreciate it. That's coming from somebody who probably has a third grade education. Thank you. All right. I'm an idiot. I've been called worse than that, so who cares? Anonymous says I'm an idiot. If I don't like what's going on here, go back home. I never said I didn't like what goes on here. I just bring suggestions. I bring the truth of the matter. Here's another one here. You're sticking up again for tourists. No, I like local businesses. I patronize with them when I can. All right. But when I order fish or seafood from a place that supposedly is supposed to be this top-notch place, and I get 4 shrimp and 4 breaded clams? Yeah, breaded clams. Yeah, I believe it was. Breaded clam strips. And I get 4 of those and a little teeny, little weeny little portion of mashed potatoes or something to that effect. And I got to pay $35. What makes you think? You understand what I'm getting at now? Catch what I'm saying? It's not my fault that Joe Biden didn't clean up the situation with food companies charging a lot of money. Food prices are high. All right. Some people say President Trump got voted in because of the high prices of eggs and oil. That could be. All right. I'm not going to go into it about Iran because this ain't the show for that. This is not the show for it. I had my Ralph's Opinion show on KFC Radio down in Texas. I am taking a break because next week I have to fill in for Brandon Keeler on his sports program Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Sports Nuts. I'll be on with Shane Owen, Matt Thomas, and Ben Willis. We got a lot to talk about next week as well. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right. So speaking of announcements, we'll get into that right now. All right. Don't forget about let's start off with this weekend coming up. Don't forget Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 12:50 a.m., 92.5 on the FM dial on the Answer, pgh.com, so you can tune into the Ralph Williams Show. Here we are. All right. And then at 10 a.m., this is part of the triple header Ralph Williams Saturday. 10 a.m., the Saturday Sports Show. Here it is. And then, last but not least, 2 to 3 p.m. every Saturday, 92.5 FM, 1250 a.m., The Answer, and also theanswerpgh.com. And also, don't forget Google, scroll down to Radio Stations USA. Pop up pop up The Answer 1250 on your Google search bar. Scroll down to Radio Stations USA, click the button, and you will be on the air to listen to my shows as well. And don't forget Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 1250 a.m. The Answer, the Ralph Williams Show. And I forgot to mention, along with my co-host, Tony Moreno. And then don't forget next week on Monday, I will be filling in for Brandon Keeler and the Sports Nuts. And I'm going to put that banner up here in just a moment. There it is right there, right at your far upper corner there. There you are. All right. I'll be on the air Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with the Sports Nuts, hosting the show for Brandon, along with Shane Owen and Matt Thomas. And then don't forget Tuesday, 4 o'clock p.m., and we're doing 2-hour specials all the way up until the NFL draft. I'm going to be having guests on, talk about their team. I'm going to try to get all 32 teams covered. I've already got about 8 or 9 covered now. All right. Either on the Sports Corner show or the Saturday Sports Show, we're going to have some of these people coming on, talk about their team. And if they have a new coach, we'll be talking about that as well. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. Here we are. All right, and that's the Sports Corner show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, 4 to 6, all the way up until the draft. And then once the draft is over, we go back to the Wrestle Talk show, which is on every Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m. Yesterday, we had our last show until after the NFL draft so that we can talk about and focus on the draft and focus on players, coaches, what's movement in the draft, free agents, what's going on. We got all that going on for us today, too. Speaking of Sports Corner Radio Show, we're going to be talking about free agent tight ends and drafted tight ends. Tight ends are in the draft, all right, and a lot more. We got a lot to talk about as well. So that's always and every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. All right. Okay, every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., here we are in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m., the Ralph Williams Show. Here we are. All right, and then don't forget about our show here, the Delmarva show of The Way I See It, every single Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Here we are. All right, and there we are. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network for The Way I See It show as well. All right. I'm Ralph Williams. It's been a pleasure being here with you tonight, and I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Next week, we have more to talk about. We'll be back at 7:30 next week. Actually, we will not be here next week. We will not be back until either the week after next, because I'll be filling in for Brandon Keeler on the Sports Nut Show. So see you soon. Keep up the subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and also don't forget Pensman Sports, Tiger Stripes Media, the Sports Nuts, everybody that I'm all affiliated with. Please subscribe, like, and subscribe to their YouTube channels, Facebook pages, Twitter, X, followers, and everything else. Please follow us and Twitter with us as well, and also, or tweet with us as well. And don't forget about our YouTube channels. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Trying to get a goal to get where we need to be. Until next time, and keep informed on my YouTube channel or on my social media platforms as to when The Way I See It. It'll be a Wednesday, but I'll tell you which one, and you'll know. All right. So have a great one. Thank you for watching. Please, by all means, be safe. Thank you.